Friends of Night People began in 1969 as a street-level outreach program of crisis services. Not a place per se, but a multi-denominational group of clergy who would roam Buffalo's Chippewa Street red light district, lending an ear and offering assistance to those living on the edge, mentally ill, the homeless, the alcoholics, and others. First to head up this unique program, and also pictured on its original poster, was Reverend John Russell.
People just needed too many things. So we rented an old place on Chippewa Street. It's now the third room bar, a very sleek and classy place. But it was a hovel at that time, just a hole in the wall. Our youth groups came in and cleaned it up, scrubbed it, threw out the trash. We got some old furniture in and a coffee pot and some lights, and we were in business. The program really was shifting to not being a clinical, professionally run program, but being one run by people who knew the street and knew what they needed.
After many years of serving the theater district, Friends of Night People leased a new space in Allentown at Wadsworth and Hudson in the early 1980s. The original space was rough and dirty, but a huge Christmas present arrived in December of 1986 with the first volunteer shift of internationally renowned cancer surgeon Dr. M. Stephen Piver.
These people needed a nicer home. So we got an estimate. It was $300,000. We didn't have $300,000. The Home Builders Institute of Western New York brought in trainees to gut the entire place and rebuild Friends of Night People from the basement up for $60,000. So we had a brand new facility, brand new kitchen. People were trained who could then go out and get jobs, and that made it much nicer for all our clients.
Under Dr. Piver's leadership as a board member, Friends of Night People undertook a huge capital campaign which saw the rebuild and purchase of the Allentown location and some new services, thanks to Dr. Piver's passion and drive.
The result of that rebuild was I thought, you know, it would really be nice to have a free medical clinic, because we're redoing it. So I thought on the second floor we're going to actually put in clinic offices. Well, that was in '92. In '94, a young doctor named Dr. Bobby Abrams, an emergency room physician at ECMC, came to my office at Roswell and said, I want to start a free medical clinic. I said, all my dreams are coming true. So we started a free medical clinic under the directorship of Dr. Bobby Abrams. And then about 4 or 5 months later, a good friend of mine, David Davidson, who is a podiatrist in town, called me one night and said, Steve, would you like a podiatrist? I said, David, we would love it. The reason is homeless and poor people, their main health problem is their feet. It really is. So he not only brought himself over, but brought over 5 podiatrists to help run the free medical clinic. And then probably about 6 months later, I got a phone call from an optometrist, Dr. Charles Hornberger. Would you like a free eye clinic? I said I would. Of course I would. He came over one day, put in about $10,000 worth of equipment on the second floor. And naively I said to him, well, don't you want to take it home at night? He said, no, we'll just leave it here. So we have a free medical clinic run by physicians at ECMC with UB medical students who have never seen people this poor, free podiatry, and free eye clinic. So it's very nice, and it helps these people a lot.
In 1998, Dr. Piver was named Chairman Emeritus. He continues to oversee the Friends of Night People mission, that people are served and treated with compassion and respect. The evolution of Friends of Night People has been remarkable, and while the basic tenet of service has not wavered, the current program has certainly evolved to a point where since 2008, over 60,000 meals have been served annually. Currently, Executive Director Joseph Heery leads the day-to-day operation.
We're trying to make sure that everybody who needs our services is aware of what we do. The meals, the clothing, the medical care, the counseling that is so important to these people. And the people we serve at Friends of Night People come from various backgrounds. Families with small children up to the middle-aged people and to elderly. There's people who are poor or homeless, people on a fixed income, We have individuals who have a mental or physical disability, and they just don't have the means to make it all the way through the month without some form of assistance for such basic needs.
But every day you can get a garment, you know, so they helped me that way. And just, he gave me a lot of hope, Joe did, you know, just kept my spirits up and just kept encouraging me. And the staff there, I find the staff of volunteers is very friendly. You know, they'll look you in the eye and hi, how are you?
Volunteer participation provides community insight into the services offered and first-hand knowledge of the Friends of Night People mission.
We have a group of just about 35 of the Newman Center members who are on our list of volunteers. And any given third Monday, we're a group of anywhere from 7 to 12 people who come down and serve and bus and wash dishes and pots and pans.
The first-hand experience of Friends of Night People has left a lifelong impression on those involved. And because of this, Buffalo and Western New York is undoubtedly a better place as a result.
I just think it was a marvelous way to bring people together from all walks of life to share their humanity and their pain and to give acceptance and love to each other.
Except for the grace of God go I. Most of us in Western New York that I know have plenty, and there are people that don't have plenty. It's actually a no-brainer. Two things I hate in life are greed and human suffering. I can't do much about greed, but I can do a lot about human suffering.
Feeling that you get when you're really able to make a connection with somebody who came here for help and you were able to help them find some place to stay or get them that meal or provide them with those extra blankets. It truly is the most important thing to that person at that moment, and we're able to get that for them.
I know I was so down I'm lucky, you know, because a lot of people don't bounce back up.